Okay, so if you have it on another device playing, just turn the volume down.
Can I get you all to do something real quick?
Yeah.
Karate chop. Woo!
What are we doing?
Woo! Just karate chop. I just want to see you guys all karate chop in your little squares.
You can see multiple squares, Lorenzo.
I put it on grid view. I'm a seasoned.
All right, I'm gonna clip.
Yeah, I can see everybody.
I'm gonna clip everybody karate chopping and say.
How do you do that? I want to do that.
Go to view.
Up in the left corner, you'll see a little box. You can click it, and it'll give you an option for your different views that you want. It looks like a couple layers, but
like a grid.
It looks like a grid.
I don't see that on mine. It just says back arrow, fucking audio, and then flip the camera.
I'm not gonna risk it.
It's there, I promise you.
As soon as I touch it, it's gonna mess up, man.
You can swipe. You can swipe to the left too, I believe.
Now I gotta swipe right.
Swipe right. There
Oh,
All right.
Well, actually, the only one I can't see is the homie from the north.
It's like we're in the future.
So I can only see 6, not 7.
Okay, so
you can't see me, Lorenzo?
No,
I can see you.
I can see you.
All right,
Yeah, you're good.
Not Will.
Mike, go ahead and clip that karate chop on the count of 3 here, and then you can send it to me. Well,
Oh yeah, I can't edit it right now, but
post-promotions.
everything's being recorded from 15 minutes ago.
Okay, here we go, guys. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, on the count of 3, your best Kwai Chain Kane karate chop. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I got a big ass grizzly paw in my face.
Oh,
That's not a paw, that's a catcher's mitt.
Jeez Louise.
All right, guys, welcome. We are live on YouTube, and we are here to discuss North versus South and get to know some of the guys from the South competing in it.
North versus South?
North versus South. So as always, we have down at the bottom listed as D. Elston. This is actually Josh Edwards, and he has Dominic Elston in the back seat there, as well as Casey Stevens over in the passenger seat.
Hey.
Yes. And these guys are the guys. These guys are the guys putting on this event. And yeah, just doing, trailblazing, doing some great things. So happy to help out with this live stream and whatever they need to do to make this possible. It's freaking awesome. And thank you guys for being on here. We have Paul Stevens, and Paul, you primarily train with the San Diego team, right?
Yeah, with Alan Fisher.
Okay, cool. Yeah, who better to train with? And then we also have Andy Langfield. He trains with us. He's Alpha Empire for life. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Damn, for life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's one of those things that once you're in, you're in. Otherwise, you're wearing concrete shoes. That's how it is with Alpha. And then we've got Heraclio Ramirez, Hercules.
Boy.
Yes.
Hercules.
Yes. He's one of our big monsters from Alpha Empire. We've got Mike Brown, who also trains with us at Alpha Empire. He's a 165 monster. We've got one of Alpha Empire's veteran guys, Lorenzo Munoz. How do I pronounce your last name, Lorenzo?
Munoz.
Munoz. Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds way sexier. Okay. And we also have, with the big grin at the bottom, to me, in my opinion, one of our best hopefuls to dethrone Alan Fisher. I love you, Alan Fisher, but I think this guy's the man who can eventually give you a good challenge. This is Will Klingman, who is also a veteran Alpha Empire member. So welcome, guys. And I'd like to just go one by one with these guys and get a little bit of background and maybe talk about their matches. So let's start with Andy.
Right on.
What's up, Andy?
What's going on, Kane? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm good, man. At Sunday's practice, you were feeling pretty damn strong.
I was feeling pretty good. I had this month seems to be pretty crazy getting practices in with all the events going on. So I was pretty fresh. I mean, you snuffling all that snow, you
Yeah.
know, I don't think you're 100%. So everyone probably felt strong. Just shovel
Well,
100 tons of snow.
you're a humble guy, and I appreciate you providing the excuse for me. But no, the one thing that I really noticed, you do feel a lot stronger, but your angles, your adjustments are really good. And most of all, you've got a really long lever. And that practice was the first time I actually felt you truly utilizing it, you know. And I think that's going to come really in handy with Caleb.
Yeah, for sure. Caleb got probably a longer lever than I do, but I'm, not as experienced as Caleb, not even close. So I'm still trying to learning and adjusting and trying to figure out how to use it. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it's good knowing that it's, you can feel it. So
Right. Yeah, going against Caleb is kind of like standing in front of like a steam train, or actually probably like one of those bullet trains, you know. So
yeah,
yeah,
his horsepower it's crazy.
right. But everything that we talked about, I think you've got some good plans, and I'm looking forward to a really good match between you two.
Yeah, man, you got some power, Andy. Trust me. I felt some good angles with you, man. So, and I'm a super heavyweight, and trust me, don't sell yourself short, man. You got some good potential to, if you get your lane right, you're able to get there. So just plan it out, man. You can't stop that bullet train, but you can derail it. So
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah. So, I mean, most of you guys are teammates, so I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. But let's go through one by one. Heraclio, how do you think this match is going to go between Andy and Caleb?
Like you said, man, Caleb's, I mean, he's been on it. As soon as he got into the arm wrestling scene, the kid fell in love with it, and he's doing his work. He's putting in the time and everything. And he's actually one of the, he's young, he's got charisma and everything, so he's a good face for the sport and the lightweight and getting all these young kids into it, He's the nicest guy off the table, and you get in the table and you're like, what the hell is this guy, lose his mind or what? He goes freaking crazy.
Yeah.
It's entertaining to watch, you can't help but cheer for him no matter where he's at, he's a good guy to always have in the tournament. But
Yeah.
it's there's always a lane, man. There's always a spot. Just Andy, you're freaking strong, man. You trust me. You're able to surprise anybody if you get your lane and believe just believe in yourself, man. Because trust me, I felt it, man. He's gotten me a couple times, so it's the power's there, man. Your power's there. It's just a matter of making a good plan to figure out where he's strong and where you're stronger and how to have him to fall into your lane, man. You can't, like I said, you can't stop him head on, but you can, throw him off his course and derail him, and get your way. But it's going to be a fun match, man. Either way, it's going to be a learning experience for you, man. It's going to, especially when you get to that intensity and that speed, there's nothing but a good experience for everybody. And it's funny because and you're gonna get your name out there, man. That's all it takes. As soon as you get in there, and people feel it, they know you'll get your name out there real fast. Especially somebody like him. He's going everywhere, every state. He's doing the work. He's putting in the effort and everything. So, but yeah, there's a way to get him. There's a way to get him, man. So just gotta pick your lane and execute, man.
Good advice. I'm going to ask two more guys the same question. I want to ask Mike and Josh. Mike, I know you've actually pulled Caleb quite a bit, right? Because you're also a 165 guy.
Yeah, so I guess where I kind of stand between that match, I think it's a good match. I think it was a good pick. As far as like outcomes, like how it's perceived, right? I want to clarify this here. I feel like on paper, Caleb is the favorite, right? But I've pulled both guys, and I think personally for Andy, like what he doesn't have in experience, he does have in talent slash like ability. And so I think it's personally it's gonna come down to like really simple like semantics, like setup, who's going first, who has the ref's attention, you know, as far as like getting more attention than the other guy, right? I think if he can get a good setup, I think if he can be on top of his ready goes, if he doesn't have the rest irritated with him, I think Andy has a pretty good shot, just because he does have the ability to commit his shoulder forward and keep it there. And that's something that Caleb really struggles with when the match stops. If he doesn't stop the match and he commits that shoulder forward, loses his hand, and Caleb gets position, I don't really, that's going to be a hard day. I don't really know Andrew enough personally to say what I think that, how he would pull with that. But I definitely feel like it's kind of like going to go one way or the other. I agree. There's a lane. I just think I think Andrew just has to be on top of his game, and it's very plausible, extremely plausible. Yeah.
Right. Even though Caleb is very explosive and very strong, he's very smart. And
Yeah.
I think primarily you've got the strength, Andy. So it's really, I think it's going to come down to tactics. This is going to be a very tactical match. But we'll all be in your corner, brother. And just listen to the advice that you know is the right one, because you're going to be the one up there pulling him. So
For sure.
Josh.
I do,
if
no,
I
no,
could
no.
just,
Yeah, what?
if I could just say one more thing for Andy, arm wrestling is very nuanced, and there's a lot of specifics, and there's a lot of ways to do things. I think my best advice for you is just do what, take everybody's advice, but don't let your whole game plan fall to shambles with that advice, right? You need to do what your instincts are telling you, that your personal wisdom, your experiences have told you to do, right? I know I've lost a lot of times because I've let other people's perspectives, I've injected that into my own, and it never ends well. So whatever, direction you think you need to go right now before you go on this call, whatever you think you're going to be strong, make sure you follow that with your heart. That's going to give you the best result, man.
Cool.
I appreciate it, guys, for sure.
Yeah. This is going to be a crazy match. I'm really looking forward to
Cheers.
your match, Andy.
And I would give a heads up to Caleb, man. That guy is awesome. I was pretty stoked when he was interested in pulling me. It was kind of going on a little back and forth for a little bit, and it's finally coming together. And thanks to him, I didn't even think I was even close to being on his radar or someone who'd even be interested in pulling. So, I'm just grateful to have the opportunity that he's giving me the opportunity. Like kid's a stud. He goes everywhere. Like everyone knows, he knows he puts in the work. So even no matter what the outcome, he's a good example to follow to progress in the sport either way.
Good man. Yeah, well said. Josh, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, definitely. I want to piggyback off of what Mike was saying for sure. I agree with the same type of thing when you go into a match and you know what you're good at and what you're comfortable with doing. Stick to that. I've also been a victim of that, listening to other people's, everybody's going to help you. And of course, you're going to learn. We don't all know, the answers, but when you have something that you are comfortable with, the uncomfortability that we create by trying new things gets us out of our zone. And we all know that it's such a minute detail that can change a match. So yeah, go into that thing and do what you're planning on. Obviously, I train a lot with Caleb. I don't know much about Andy. I seen him compete at the Fit Expo, and he crushed my buddy Benny. Benny's pretty bummed about that, but I'm just excited for both of them. I think it's going to be a good match from what I've seen of Andy. He's definitely capable of lighting some fire out there, so I'm excited to see it.
Very cool. Hey, Andy, before we let you go, I know you got to get to your daughter's wrestling practice. Did you want to break anything down for us about, because there's another person that another teammate of ours that Caleb is going against, and that is Mr. Zach Wagner. That's gonna be a good one too.
That's gonna be a good one. Zach's left is he's so strong. Yeah, you wouldn't think about it from his physique, but man, it's like he's not strong like you think, like kind of gym strong. He's like almost like that almost that 40-year-old construction worker, freaking strong, just as bones.
That manual labor strong.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and that's gonna be a real good match. I think as long as Zach is prepared, with his game plan and how he wants to pull, I think it should go his way. The thing with Caleb, man, it's just like Zach tried to explain it, because they pulled a couple of times. It's just feeling Caleb's horsepower and setup is just different. It's like it's hard to. Everyone says it's really hard to prepare for, because it's just you can watch a million videos on it, but it just feels different, So I mean, he
Right.
knows how it feels like already. So I think it's a good advantage of maybe getting one back from Caleb in this match more than others, since they pulled and he got that experience. So that's going to be a barn burner for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I haven't talked to Zach much about his plan for that match. But I have a lot of faith in him. The difference, I think, between you two guys is I feel like you're Andy, you're a little more built to have some more options. And this is nothing against Zach, because Zach's been developing a really strong top roll as well. But primarily what I'm hoping to see is that classic top roll versus hook match, and primarily it's going to, if it turns out that way, it's going to be, can Zach get in there and get bite, around that low hand top roll. If that match stops, then we're going to have a really cool grinder happen, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
Paul, Lorenzo, I know you've gripped up with Zach, Will, quite a bit. Paul, have you ever gripped up with Zach Wagner?
I don't know if I have or not. I mean, maybe just messing around or something like that, but
Yeah,
not in tournament, of course.
He's a strong kid. I'd like to see you guys after pull at the event if you end up having a little time. What do you think, Lorenzo?
I think if Andy and Zach both can, just prepare for that hit, dude. There's always an answer to everything. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's gonna hit fast sideways, he's not gonna have back. If he's gonna hit back pressure, if he's gonna hit hard back, he's not gonna have side. So you got to prepare to, what the worst outcome is gonna be. You know what he's gonna do. Prepare for it. Work your hand, be in the match, and then just be in the moment, man. Just be in the moment. Be open to anything, because anything could change. Like Mike said, be like water, my friend.
Yeah,
he's really right. Being present. That's a very good piece of advice.
Bro, that's the hardest thing, man, to be present, be on
don't argue
fire,
with your
and to
girlfriend.
be present.
Yeah. Well, if I can give one solid, one thing is don't try to hang on, dude. Just go to the strap. It's gonna be insane to try to hold on to them.
Mm-hmm.
So go to the strap and then try to have them land in your arm, man, somewhere in between that crazy bicep of yours, man, because trying to hold on to that is going to be one hard task, man.
Yeah, honestly, Andy, do what's comfortable, but yeah, conventionally in that situation, low hand, you don't want to hold on at all.
Yeah, and you don't want to think to contain. You also want to go. You want to go with him. You want to show him what you have as well, and not be that he's going to hit so hard that you have to contain, and that's all you're going to be thinking about, Yeah,
don't think about defense. It's all offense, man. The best defense is offense. So go, and hopefully you take him with you, and if not, but go to the strap, dude. Don't worry about defending.
You got to remember this too. He's got a different goal than you on that first ready go. Like from today in this talk all the way up until you guys are at the table, all he's thinking about is that go and trying to pin you as quick as possible. You don't have that pressure. You just need to stop the match in a place that you're comfortable. That's a much easier thing to have over your head. So he's got a lot more mental pressure in my opinion.
Good point. Yeah, I always see Zach and Will on the table constantly. Will, have you ever pulled Caleb?
Yeah. I've never pulled him left-handed, but I pulled him maybe 3 times right-handed. So I've practiced with him a few times, so I have pulled him left, but not in a competition or anything like that.
So competition was just right.
Yeah, basically just right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How do you think that match is going to go down?
I mean, Zach is really strong inside, and Caleb is really fast outside. But I don't know if Caleb. I mean, it's gonna be hard, like you guys were saying, because like if Caleb is as fast as he always is off the go, then it's gonna be a lot to hang on to, like even in a strap, because like you know I have a better, like for me, like when I pull, I try to use my length, and I feel Caleb. I think Caleb is taller than Zach, so I feel like if he can really like jab hard enough, then it's gonna be hard to keep his elbow down, let alone thinking about other things.
Yeah.
But if he can stop him, like if he can stop his hit, then I honestly think Zach could like take it, because I don't know. I don't know how Caleb's like hook is, because I primarily see him just top roll.
Cool. And that's what we want to see. We want to see
Zach
that match
draws
stop.
Caleb into a hook. Zach will win for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I don't like to hook Zach. I take his hand. I don't hook him.
Yeah, especially not deep. So Andy, you gotta bail on out.
I got to run. I'm sorry, Kane. But
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys having me on and the little time I had. It was fun.
absolutely. We're gonna have a good time next weekend for sure, brother.
Hey, appreciate you guys from the north coming in too, man. Appreciate it. You guys take it easy.
Likewise,
Later,
man.
Andy.
This is only possible because of all you guys getting together, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, one thing I want to take a quick moment to do is give a shout out to Mr. Jamie Sheldon and Nat Fit, our team sponsor. Yeah,
Hey.
one of our team sponsors. I love the BCAAs. I honestly think they're 10 times better than any amino acid hydration supplement on the market. They're really, really good. But yeah, check them out. Jamie's a big legend in the sport and advocate of the sport. So when you're buying NatFit, you're helping the sport. And also our teammate Leo Landeros and Lion Straps. We all think that these are the best straps out there. And they were
Best straps on the market.
yeah, they were used in King of the Table too, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, not one broke. That they seem to hold up against those massive monsters. So that tells you something right there. But okay, and moving on. So Mr. Mike Brown, you have a match.
Mike
and-
Brown.
Yes, sir. Your match. Do you know his name? I'm looking at the list right now.
It's Jarek.
Jarek.
His name is Jarek Serta.
Help us out, Josh. Tell us about Jarek.
So Jarek is he's another one that is very similar to the Chewy situation. He's 154 pounds. He's a calisthenics trainer, super strong, does all these real crazy body movements and all this stuff. And he's been into arm wrestling for the last couple of years. He had a super match in November with Alwyn Kaburi, who's, I believe he was ranked number 9 at the time, somewhere around there. I don't know exactly where, but yeah, he beat him pretty handily. And so we just thought it would be a really good match. He's one of those new up and comers. Really, really strong for his size. He's a smaller guy. He's about 5'4", 154 pounds, 152 pounds, but he's stacked. I mean, he's real strong. And so it's definitely one of those David and Goliath type things. When they walk up to the table, it's going to definitely look pretty cool, Mike being 6'4" and whatnot. So yeah, pretty excited.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun to see.
So this is going to be Jarek's opportunity to kind of see where he's at then.
See where he's at. Yeah. To see if he can hang with the big boys who, are the gatekeepers of this class and the guys who are consistently, out there competing and making those podiums and different things like that. He just wants to see if he's even supposed to be there, if he needs to wait a little bit. And so it's one of those type of things, but shout out to Mike and thank you for letting him take that match. It's really cool. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that match, Mike?
Yeah, so I think I was originally facing a different individual and then it switched. The previous individual I had no info on, then this guy came along and all I see is a video of him and Caleb just about to have an aneurysm. I know it was just
Really?
practice. Yeah, it was just practice, so it's really anecdotal. But you know, there's like little hints of information there. And so yeah, I'm excited. It's someone that I think stylistically will definitely make. Like, I don't think we're I don't think it'll just be a flash either way. And I think it's gonna be fun. You know, I definitely feel like I'm gonna have my own challenges, especially facing someone I don't know at all. But it's gonna be good.
So far with what you've seen, does he look more cozy in the hook or the top roll?
So I don't really know his position on outside arm wrestling. I saw him looking like a hooker. He looks like someone who just wants their hand and wrist, right? He wants that wrist bent and he wants that close control. I don't know if he's fundamentally there the whole time or if he's willing to kind of let go of all of that. I don't really know, how flexible he is, but I'm kind of going into it with the assumption that I'm going to have to defend my pronation. I'm going to have to defend my rise, right? And I've kind of thought about this match quite a bit in those two things, and I am saying kind of in the direction I'm going, but I feel like regardless of the outcome, those are two things that kind of just universally apply. So I'm kind of just going to go with that. And then as I get information in the first part of the match, I'll make adjustments as needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if you have watched it, but on Nick's channel on ArmTube, you can go and watch the Cali super matches, and he actually had a super match with the guy that you were originally set up with.
Oh, okay.
So you can see him in a super match, and that was November. I mean, it was a couple of months ago, but you can kind of get a little bit of a better idea. He had 6 rounds. He went both hands, so you can kind of see where he's at.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Are you going both hands with him, Mike?
Yes, it's going to be both. It's left hand. I mean, I am right hand dominant. I'm a tool guy. My left arm is like significantly bigger than my right for some reason. Like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, left arm, I'm stupid confident. Right arm, I don't know. It's not. More recently, I've kind of transitioned to hooking. So I don't feel like my top roll's fallen off per se. I think it's kind of at a plateau. I'm not really focusing on my top roll. So I don't really know. I may have to go in the hook with him. And I have no idea, that's been very, 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 very cyclic in the outcomes so far. So if I can get the stop on the right hand, I'm going to be in the match. It's just not as confident as the left.
Right. And I want to let the chat know that I do have them up, and we'll dig in there with the chat in just a minute here. But while we're on that topic, I want to ask Josh real quick. We do have a few matches that are left and right, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lefty.
And do you have an idea of how you're planning to do that in terms of order of operations? Are you going to give those athletes a break before they switch to the other arm, or are we going to just?
Oh yeah,
For sure.
oh yeah. We're probably gonna just run through right-handed first, and then left-handed, or vice versa. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
seems better.
And that order list, how's that coming along? Is that just like crazy
That's
hard
actually-
to put together?
No. I just have so much going on. I have 4 children, and wife who's in school, and I take care of my mom at home. I always have something going on. But Casey's here right now. That's actually what we're gonna do after the interview here, the podcast. We're gonna lock that in. So
Yeah, I'm not trying to rush you at all. I'm just trying to imagine myself making that list. You know what I mean? And
Right.
putting it in order. That sounds man, that sounds tough. But if anybody can do it, you guys can. All right, let me take a quick peek at the chat here.
the order is mainly, in our opinion, like what we've gathered so far. Like what we're thinking is having the guys like the Paul Stevens and the Tonys and the Wills and Lorenzo and you guys and Mike, you guys who are been there, done that, pro guys. getting out of the way first. That way you can hang out and after pull and do all that, and we'll trickle down. Just that way, because there's going to be a lot of people that want to do the meet and greet thing and that haven't met each other, and some legends from both sides and this and that. And so I think that might be the best way to do that, to get the higher level guys out of the way first.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I know it sounds different, like usually you lead up to that, but
Mm-mm.
I think
like that
that
idea.
the
Nope,
mingling,
that's a great
I think,
idea.
is going to be
I
the
agree.
best part.
Great.
Very cool. All right. Yeah. I think Isai just sent me the link. He's looking to hop in here at some point. So the chat, we've got JKX500 saying strong looking group. Yeah. He's definitely talking about
Not me.
Talking about fucking Hercules over there.
the 30-pound guys in the chat. Yeah. We've got Don Mormon is in the chat saying, "Hey guys, what's up, Don?"
What's up,
Don?
Don?
Yeah, Don the man. We got Eric Gonzalez saying, "Howdy, howdy."
So,
Yeah,
What's up, bro?
yeah. Yeah, and Basin Don, yeah, Don is saying Caleb's always a threat. DJ Galvan says love his hit. I don't. As a spectator, I do, but as his competitor, I do not. Yeah, and Don says good sportsmanship. I'm assuming he's talking about Andy. What Andy was saying. The chat's pretty much like a 20-second delay behind us in YouTube. And Eric was asking how long Andy has been pulling. How long do you think he's been pulling, you guys? Like a year, maybe?
More than
about 2 years now,
Yeah, I was
maybe
about to say
like a
more
year and a
than a year.
half.
I
Okay.
don't know, man.
Yeah, maybe a year or two. I don't know, but he's definitely fresh in and just moving at a really fast pace. Don says Andy seems really cool. He absolutely is. And so DJ Galvan says definitely will be a fight. And Javier Martinez is in here saying, "Dang, why is Lorenzo so handsome though?"
Appreciate you, bro.
There you go.
That glow. He's glowing.
I own $5 now.
All right, let's move on to the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr.
Lorenzo?
Paul Stevens. Yes, sir. How's it going, Paul?
Going good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good, bro.
Good.
You looking forward to your match?
Yeah. I mean, I saw his match with Kyle. That's the only match I've ever seen him in. So he looks aggressive. He looks strong. So,
And who do you got, Paul?
is it
DJ Galvan, the guy in the chat. Yeah.
He's in the chat. That's right.
Oh,
Okay.
This is your chance to start the psychological warfare, Paul.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I watched him pull Kyle, I didn't see anything special. You know,
Yeah, he weren't impressed.
I didn't see nothing. I was like, oh, Jesus, screaming. No.
Awesome.
Josh, can you fill us in a little bit on DJ Galvan?
Yeah, he's been pulling since the late 90s. Been around the sport for a long time up there with the arm benders and all the North guys up there, Mike McGraw and them. He's getting real, heavy back into it right now. He showed out pretty good at the Kenny Hughes Memorial last year, and that was quite a bit after the Kyle match. He definitely doesn't quit. Like the guy will not let his arm go down. I mean, like it takes a lot of energy to get him to like just let his arm go. I mean, he'll be in whatever position you want to put him in. He's a beast. He doesn't give up. He definitely is an imposing figure. I mean, he's real, but Paul, I mean, they look like twins almost. I mean, you guys look the same way. You guys are all shoulders and big old jack dudes. So no, it's going to look real cool. I mean, they're both been around the sport for a long time. They're not new to it. Both big old thick hands and yeah, they can back up themselves on the table for sure.
So, Paul, what got you into the sport? When and how did this happen?
Well, my dad has always arm wrestled. When we lived in Chicago, he's always arm wrestled. And then when we moved out in 81, he went to Petaluma in 87. And he went up there, took fifth. That's when Over the Top started coming around. Met Alan Fisher, and he goes, "Bring your boys on Thursday." So I was a junior in high school. I just started wrestling, and then every Thursday I would go and train arm wrestling. So I would be doing wrestling and arm wrestling since 87, on and off since 87.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Dang.
So my
That's cool.
my first love is wrestling, so I did more wrestling than I did arm wrestling. I did freestyle. I've traveled the United States. I've wrestled like a lot of people from all over the world, like Vegas, international tournaments, from Japan, Russia, Germany, Iran, got my butt kicked by a lot of those guys and stuff like that. So, I mean, I wrestled for like 25 years, on top of the arm wrestling. So that's where the majority of my injuries are from, is wrestling.
That's interesting.
Man,
Yeah.
I gotta stop shooting on you, Paul. I did not you wrestle that much, dude. Man,
Well, I'm old now.
that's why you're always ready.
Break a hip, you know?
I'm curious about
Might be my chance.
I'm curious about the crossover with that. I can definitely assume that you would definitely the athletic abilities would cross over to arm wrestling and how to use your body. What's your take on that and your experience?
Yeah, it does. But the biggest thing is that arm wrestling, your tendons are tight. Like if you train and you're really training hard, like your arm is half cocked. You can't, I mean, you can straighten your arm, but it's just natural and feels better. Like you just don't realize it. Wrestling, you got to hyperextend. And you're always, reaching, reversals and doing all that stuff. So when I was going back and forth, I tore my tendons, like I couldn't even move my arms at one time, take a bunch of pain pills, still wrestling, still arm wrestling, not very smart.
Right.
So, I had my shoulder ripped out, the socket, my right wrist was almost broken. Actually, it's famous for me is because Dan Henderson, the UFC fighter, he's my age. And so we wrestled together. And he was doing the move and almost broke my wrist. So I can say my wrist was almost broken by Dan Henderson before he started it.
Wow. Jeez.
Legend.
So it sounds like there's some general things that crosses over, but it sounds like you've kind of had to fight a lot of contradiction between the two as well.
Yeah.
It's almost like being a pitcher and being an arm wrestler at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be the worst.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
And then I was pretty much done with wrestling. And then just started to get back in arm wrestling again, years ago. So just dealing with, old age and injuries, my right side, my wrist, it's acting up a little bit, but it should hopefully be better by next weekend and stuff like that. The stem cells, have been doing stem cells, and that's been helping out. My left feels great. My wrist doesn't hurt left, and it really feels good. So now I can start training left. So I believe I'm going right and left. Right? I think so. Yeah, I'm going right and left. So yeah.
Cool.
Man, I'll tell you what, Paul, it's so exciting seeing all these arm wrestlers and the group of arm wrestlers that have had injuries or have been in the sport for a very long time trying the stem cell stuff. And then just seeing how you guys are going to come back and make waves in the sport. I think it's such a innovative, something that we can all benefit from, man, seriously, in the future. And I think it's going to start to be something, one of those like just staples in the sport that everybody just gets done after a while,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's tremendous. Like I said, my right, it's not responding as quickly as my left, but my shoulder's better. Everything's better. It's just my right wrist a little bit. And I'm sure I have a little bit of arthritis in it too,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would assume as that gets more popular, the stem cells, the price would come down a bit too, maybe be more accessible to more athletes. Is it pretty reasonable right now, or?
Well, yeah, the place that I go to, Craig Tullier, Bob Brown goes down there, a lot of guys, and it's very reasonable,
Okay.
Me and the wife go down because she's black belt in jiu-jitsu, retired MMA fighter. She has quite a bit of injuries, and arm wrestling too. She's getting ready for the women's tournament in April in Texas. But we've been going down there, and it's affordable. Like, I get 3 shots on one side. It's like 400, for the vial, and we get it like around 2,000 for both of us, together. So
That's
it's
not bad.
very reasonable. The place we go to in TJ.
And how often do you have to do that?
It's like every 3 or 4 months.
Okay. Yeah.
I went my second time. I'm going to go one more time, my third time, and see how that responds. And maybe that might be it. I don't know. It's like anything, that you do, but I don't want to keep going and doing it. You know what I mean? If it's not going to go to it, if it only goes to a certain point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I notice we have who I think is Isai joining us in the live stream, except there's this big, powerful goatee on him now. And whoever it is, they look 30% stronger.
It does give strength.
Yeah.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, just try not to move the camera or the phone too much, because it picks up a lot of static for some reason. If you have somewhere you could just set it down, that'll help. Did you just get off work or something?
Camera, man.
That dude just woke up.
Yeah. Oh, he just woke up.
Nah, they let me get out. Let me get out of work. So I just got home. Yeah. We good.
All right. Well, Will just took off, and I was just about to talk to him, but let's bounce up over to Mr. Heraclio. So, Heraclio,
Heraclio.
Yes. Heraclio is our teammate and one of my favorite guys to train with. It's weird. There's different guys I feel like that you can, or girls that you can train with for different things. Like with you, Heraclio, I love training with you to get stronger. You'll hold me and you put me in all these great positions, static as long as I need to be there. And I always make gains when I train with you. There's other guys like Justin Webb and Mike Brown. I don't know where Mike went. Oh, he went to his LA practice. But yeah, those guys are just nuts on the table. So if it's time to just go crazy and like beat up your tendons a little bit and your joints, I love those guys. But how did you get into this sport? You used to be a boxer, didn't you, Heraclio?
No, actually, well, my dad was a professional boxer in Mexico when he, was growing up and everything. And I just got taught a lot of it, and a lot of that was like boxing solves everything. It's a good way to like keep healthy, keep yourself out of trouble, and keep people safe as well. So I do love boxing, but no, I started arm wrestling because in my family, actually, my mom was freaking strong.
She's so strong.
Yeah, my mom, she was actually the youngest of 9 kids, and they lived like in a small town in Mexico on the side of the beach. And my grandpa, she was like 12 or 13 years old, and my grandpa was like me, short, chubby guy that loved beer, but he was in a wheelchair. He was missing a leg, and my mom would drag him in the sand. So my mom would like pull him in a wheelchair while he was in the sand. She was like 120 pounds dragging a 200-pound guy with a beer in his hand. So he was just strong. And growing up, my dad would, bring his buddies over and my uncles, and we'd start drinking, and somebody wanted to arm wrestle, and my dad would be like, "My wife will whoop your butt right now." And my mom would go up there and, smoke everybody. It took me till I was like 16 to like be able to beat my mom in the arm wrestle,
Hey.
So it took me a while, and it was funny because I always was into arm. I liked it, arm wrestling in school and stuff, and during lunch and everything. But I got into weightlifting and everything because of an arm wrestling match with one of my uncles when I turned 15. My dad and all my uncles worked construction, and I was able to beat my uncle left-handed, but I wasn't able to beat him right-handed. And my dad was like, you'll see in 1 year he'll beat you. And he went and bought me a weight set. I remember it was a barbell with like a 45 and a 35, and then some dumbbells. And I was hooked after that. After a year of just in the garage, just looking up workouts, I didn't know anything. And my dad didn't lift weights either. It was always cardio. You know, he's always boxing or running, soccer. It was all cardio for him. He's all like, I don't know much about weights, but all I know is the strongest guys I know are from hard labor. So my dad was always in construction, so I was always going to work with him and everything. And there was a bunch of strong guys. So with growing up, I was always around my dad and all his construction buddies, you know, and at 12, 13, I was working with them, you know, putting the gloves on with grown men and arm wrestling those guys and everything. So his best advice was like, lift weights. Like if you're doing a job, you're not going to be able to lift heavy every day, but just keep doing it. Something's gotta get, you know, strong and tough after a while. So in high school I was really into lifting weights. I got really into there. So by high school I was lifting a pretty good amount of weight and everything. I was competing in some powerlifting and strongman competitions. I won a couple amateur events and stuff like that. And then, you know, life happened. Started truck driving, got married, and stuff. So, you know, when I turned 30, a couple of my buddies were competing in powerlifting, and they would call me up and they're like, "Hey, man, what did you do this for? You know, for chest and bench and stuff." What I was able to lift in high school, I was 190. I'm 5'7". I'm a short guy, but I was 190. My max bench I was 385. Squat was 520.
Wow.
And deadlift was 600. So I was into it. I was really, really into it in high school, and then just had to go work. You know, I went off to school in Arizona, and I went to school for motorcycles and stuff. So I just kind of weightlifting kind of went out the window for me for a while. So when I turned 30, one of my buddies was competing in a powerlifting meeting. He was calling me up, you know, what I would do for my bench and stuff like that. And I'm over here sitting on the couch. You know, I'm considered one of the most athletic guys on the team, the only athlete in the team. You know?
Only athlete on the team.
I'm the only athlete on the team. So I was sitting in the couch and there was a beer in my stomach, and my buddies are like, "Hey man, what do you do for this and that?" And I was like, "Well, I used to do this, I used to that." And he was like, "Man, why don't you compete or do something?" I was like, "Well, I'm driving all the time. I don't have time to be in the gym." He's like, "Well, find something." And I did. I actually started looking on Facebook and everything. And then I saw the movie Pulling John. And I was like, holy shit, there's actually tournaments going on, you know? So I started looking into it, and I ran into the Alpha Empire like Facebook page, which I hit up Derek. They were in the brewery in San Bernardino, and I went up there, and I remember, man, the first day I went in there, I was like, all right, I'm gonna, because like every sport, there's levels, right? I like I said, I've always kind of liked some sports and competition, and especially with like boxing, there's levels to everything. So you could be a good street fighter, a guy that's falling in the bars, and but getting in the ring and getting with somebody that knows what he's doing is a whole different story. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go try arm wrestling with people that know what they're doing, you know. So I showed up my first day, and then I saw Derek, you know, 6'8", 300 and some pound dude, and I pulled Derek my very first day. I pulled Gage, Jordan, freaking beast. And then everybody was just holding me, you know, I couldn't even budge them. And they're like, oh, dude, this guy's strong. And I was like, man, I can't even move these guys. I got to.
No, man. No, Heracli, you forgot, bro. The first person we put on you.
No, that was after I was about to leave, man, in junior.
Junior, yeah.
That's junior. That's what got me hooked, man. That's what.
Yeah,
he's the one that reeled me in. I was kind of like bummed out. Honestly, I was kind of bummed out. I was like, man, I'm like completely out of shape. I mean,
yeah, that gets good.
I had been like 10 years out of working out. You know, I hadn't been in the gym at all or lifted a weight in years. So I was like, holy crap, man, I can't even move any of these guys. And then I pulled. I mean, and I mean, they were so used to like going through a visual where you're like, all right, well, I'm probably stronger than this guy or something. Everybody just felt solid. I couldn't move anybody, you know. And I was like, okay, well, I need to get back in the gym and probably come back some other time and test myself again. And then all of a sudden, Junior, Jaden Knight Jr., he was 12 years old back then. I remember he's 12 years old. This little kid just comes up, hey, come on, hey, can I pull him in? And he's all hyped up. He's like, hey, can I pull him? Is he really strong tonight? And he comes up to the table and he's all like, hey, man. And I was like, can I pull? I was like, yeah. He's like, can I hit? And I was like, what? I was like, no. I was like, I mean, I don't even know what that is, you know? He's like, oh, can I go hard? I was like, oh, yeah, go ahead. He's like, what hand? I was like, oh, whichever one you want. He's like, oh, no, pick one. I was like, all right, well, left. And this 12-year-old kid just flash pins me like 3 times in a row, man. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, I'm like, there's no way this kid is stronger than I am. But that's what got me hooked. I was like, I gotta come back. I gotta come back. I gotta figure this out. Honestly, at first, everybody else kind of was like, I bummed out a little bit, you know, was like, I'm weak as hell. And that kid just like lit that fire because I'm like, this kid, there's no way he's stronger than I am. But and then I realized he was stronger than I was.
Yeah.
But it was that just got shocked to the system where you're like, holy crap, there's so much going on here that I need to come back. I need to come back and man, I love the team. It's awesome, man. And like I said, the sport is the community, man. The community is one of the best things about the sport that I love. That this past year I was driving over the road and I was going to different states and practicing with different teams that I never met and anything. It's awesome, man. Just awesome just to know that, oh, you arm wrestling with this team and hey, come on in, man. They see you like opening the doors to the practice and stuff like your family, man. This is one of the only sports that you pretty much want to kill each other on the table, and afterwards you like have a beer or
That's right.
sit down and tell each other's weaknesses and strengths, you know. So it's a freaking unique sport that is awesome, man. I fell in love with this sport, and my kids are in love with it as well. So it's an amazing sport, and I'm glad I wish I would have started earlier, but man, I'm glad I'm in it right now, you know.
We're glad to have you, Heraclio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love your whole family, man. And Malia and I, we need to come visit more. They're all great people.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
What's up, Josh?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask Heraclio, have you ever pulled Rick before? Do you know anything about Rick, your opponent?
I've met him a couple times in the tournament. I haven't pulled him. The very first time I met him was my very first, like 6 months into my when I started pulling. We used to have a Bakersfield. I think he was part of the True Grit team in Bakersfield. And then we had like an Alpha Empire, and they would have like every year they would have a get together where it was Alpha Empire versus True Grit. And my first 6 months in, I remember we had a team. They went up to up to Bakersfield. No, I think we met halfway up in Fillmore. And that was a cool story. That was a cool event because I wasn't able to. I didn't have plans on going. I didn't know if I was gonna make it. And it ended up where they called me like halfway. It was tied up 5-5. You know, I think Ricky was.
Oh, you came late, huh?
Yeah, I
came late.
I came late, and I was like the deciding match. I was new, and there was another new guy, and it was Ricky was pulling Ronnie Vega, and I think they went left and right, and they both won each. And I saw him pull Ronnie that day, which was a crazy match, man. It was a good match. But I haven't pulled him. I just know that like when I started, I was like, man, these guys are strong as hell. Because I mean, I pulled a lot with Ronnie. I knew how strong Ronnie was, and they had a battle that day, man. So I know when Ricky called me up about the send me a text, I was like, right on, man. Because to me, he's one of the OGs. You know, when I first started, he was already in the sport. He was already there, and everybody told me like, man, he's always strong, man.
Yeah, same thing for me. When I was first getting into the sport a couple of years ago on arm bet, messing around, I just happened to be traveling to Pismo. I looked up, you know, who was on arm bet while I was there. I met Rick, and he was the first guy that I ever met that I could do anything I wanted, and his arm was not moving at all. And that was what inspired me. I mean, like, you know, when you arm wrestle people and you're just as strong as them, it's okay, whatever. But I met a guy who was just incredibly strong. I was like, whoa, like I got to be able to get there. So yeah, he was one of those dudes that inspired me to keep on, going to the next level and meeting people. He's a great guy. He's excited for the match. It should be real fun. I mean, dude's got a forearm the size of my calf. So.
Oh, I know, man. That guy is so strong. It's like that's why when he hit me up, I'm like, oh snap, I guess I got in his radar or something, So yeah, like I said, when I first started, he was already in. He was one of the OG guys that was pulling out of Bakersfield, So I have a lot of respect for him because I know he's strong everywhere. Everywhere you try to attack him, he's a solid guy. A real nice guy. Like I said, I've talked to him a couple times. I haven't been able to pull with him even in practice. So it's going to be nice to at least meet him in the table, and get to know each other on the table.
In Bakersfield, out of all places.
Yeah, but I'm glad you guys invited me on here and actually made this whole thing set up, man. This is a great opportunity for the whole state to get together. I mean, we've been doing the Southern California thing where we get together once a month in Anaheim, and it's good because we get a lot of different arms, different people to pull. But this event, man, is actually pulling the whole state together, man. This is gonna make our whole state level up, and have especially right now with the tournament, the East versus West going on, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna start making that a yearly thing as well. This is gonna, make our state super strong, super, tight knit, and it's going to help us.
Yeah, the unification is the most important part. I mean, I seen Alan's post the other day where he was talking to Caleb and he had said that this was like, looks like it's the biggest gathering of California arm wrestlers that he's seen since he's been in the sport. And I mean, that's like a huge comment coming from Alan, but I've heard the same thing from Mike McGraw, the arm benders, all these guys who've been around forever. They just really think it's cool that we're all finally getting together. I mean, there's so many guys that you see or hear of, and you're like, hey, I wonder what they feel like. And then also there's so many, like I said, legends that people don't even know about that have just been pulling for so long. And I think it's a great opportunity to grow, to start doing that team thing. Like I said, with the legacy trophy that we have, it's really cool. The California Cup, it's going to be an annual thing, as long as everything, we all keep on getting together, and potential for sponsorship as far as, teams, all that grows, and it just looks really, really good for the sport moving forward, I think.
Well, big kudos to you too, Josh, because man, I'm telling you, anybody can come out with a good idea and everybody to be on board with, but there's somebody that needs to be there to do all the little things that make all this thing work. You know what I'm saying? And me and Derek have done some things before, but dude, we pull our hair out. We're yelling, we're fighting with each other and stuff until the event is over. And I'm telling you, man, it's a lot. And just showing that you're willing to go through it for the sport and, to get everybody together. And it's going to be a cool thing, man. I think that's what gets people together. If we all think it's going to be fun, we're going to show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully this event can turn into like a yearly big tournament, hopefully that would be like something where it turns into like, instead of a big practice, like a big tournament where like other people come in from eventually, I know everybody's going to like it. Everybody's got a window. I'm pretty sure some Vegas guys will be there. Some Arizona guys will be there, so it's one of those things. People want to arm wrestle, man. And if people want to go to the biggest gathering, so this is going to be the biggest gathering in the West Coast ever, I think. So, I mean, thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for setting this up and putting that effort. Like Lorenzo said, man, it ain't an easy task, especially everybody, has to work, everybody. And then setting it up in between tournaments, man, it was the perfect timing, without, stepping on anybody else's feet, in tournament wise or dates and stuff like that. It was the perfect timing on this thing, man. So
the only thing we were worried about in the beginning was putting it on April Fool's Day, that everybody would think it was a big joke. But
that's the only reason I want to go.
It's funny.
You're the only one there.
It's the opposite now, man. You're a fool if you don't go, man.
That's right.
Right.
So if you don't go, that's right.
Yeah, Heraclio. I had to talk to the owner of the brewery because we were almost going to bring a tiny dog, but he told me that everybody over there is psyched for this thing, and he did crack a little joke how a lot of their regular customers and everything that are hearing about it, they did think it was a joke at first. They're like, is this an April Fool's joke? There's like arm wrestling going to be here. But apparently it's got a serious buzz in their local community. So it's not just going to be a bunch of us arm wrestlers coming out. There's going to be a lot of people looking forward, from the local area to see this go down, and they're going to make it really fun. And also one thing, in our last live stream that we had with Casey and Eric Gonzalez and Dawn, and Josh, we did discuss a lot of the cool things that these guys are planning on doing for the future. If anybody hasn't seen that live stream, go check it out. They've got some really great ideas.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where it starts, man. Having great ideas. This is by far one of the best ones so far, man. To get the whole state.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're not a small state like Rhode Island, where we could all see each other's houses from the center of it. This is one of the biggest states in the U.S., man. So to get everybody there on the same day in a bunch of matches is awesome, man. Awesome. So this
Absolutely.
way, and especially it's going to be awesome because this after this event, the rankings are going to be pretty much solidified. Rankings and everything. There's going to be no speculation where anybody's at. We're pretty much going to go in there. Rankings are getting updated every event now. I think Caleb's in charge of it, right?
For California, yep.
Yeah. So now with this event, it's going to be even more solidified, and where you're at in the state rankings, how everybody's going to be feeling and pulling and yeah, man, getting everybody together and getting the community even tighter, learning from everybody. So
Totally.
Awesome, man.
Before we move on over to Mr. Will Klingman, I'm just going to address a couple people in the chat. We got Javier Martinez saying, that's not Isai, that's Brandon Allen. He's looking at your badass goatee. We got JKX500 saying, see you at the Texas tournament, Paul. Veronica is planning on polling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Eric Gonzalez says Isai will dub our match the Battle of the Goatees. I love it. Yes.
Hey, loser shaves their goatee on site.
I'll bring my clippers.
I'm actually down.
Yes.
I'll bring my clippers.
I'm shaking on it.
All right.
Sorry, Eric.
And if anybody hasn't been over to Isai's channel, you got to check it out. He's got some really, really cool videos that he's been putting out. They're different and they're hilarious. I really dig your editing. You're doing really cool things. Your channel is called your channel is called Pulling Isai, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody get on over there. I'll
Inspiration from Pulling John.
Yes. I'll try and remember to get in the description section and plug that for people to check it out. All right, Mr. Sexy lounging there on his. Are you comfortable, Will?
I'm trying to be, but man, my shoulder's falling asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like this by tomorrow.
Yeah. How's it going, Will?
It's good. Feeling good. Bored all day. It was wet. I didn't go to work, so I've just been watching videos and damn, bored.
Yeah.
Training. Should be doing some arm wrestling training instead of
It's outside and it's cold and more excuses, but I said nah.
See, that brings me to a really good point, an infamous point about Will that, not just us lightweights, but pretty much everybody. If you've ever pulled Will before and you get to know him as a person, it's kind of frustrating. You're built so well for this sport and you have so many tools. And for at least the first couple years, I guess, that I was in this sport, you know, you could like never train and you would just show up and smack everybody. And that pissed us off like so much because we're working so damn hard. But it seems like things are about to get worse for a lot of people because this last year, it seems like you've been taking this quite a bit more seriously. Am I right?
I'd say pretty serious, not serious, but a little more serious. Like normally, like you said, I don't really train. I'll just go to practice because I mean, why not? It's like super close, so I don't have an excuse not to go to practice. Plus, I love arm wrestling, but like I don't love it like I used to, you know, like I used to be all about it, but then I took like a big break and you know, it's hard for me to get back into it because I find any other thing to do than just go out there and lift some weights. Like I'm too lazy for that, you know. So now I at least start going out there. I do some, you know, pronation like I used to do, but most of the strength I normally got was from just working, you know. So I mean, yeah, I didn't really train, but like the things I did kind of kept me strong, you know, because it's working the things that I need, I guess you could say. And I've always had to work with heavy stuff. So I mean that is kind of like a workout, but not like isolated. But I don't know, just the years and years and years of like just pulling on a table, it's like my tendons are just, you know, good enough to hold me, you know. So I lost a lot of strength, explosive power, but I mean, I there's it's okay. I can hold things, but I'd say like the past 3 months I've been actually like training and you know I've missed a practice the last 3 weeks, so that's kind of frustrating. And then I guess there's no practice next week because this whole thing is happening the other week after that, and I'm like, damn, I hate being off the table this long. Like I feel like really solid, like I feel really strong, everything feels good, but it's like I just hate not arm wrestling at least a week and a half or 2 weeks before a competition or like some type of, you know, like I don't know, super match, I guess you could say. But I feel good. I just, you know, I just feel like my muscles are dumb and they forget shit and they'll forget to go or they'll forget what like I've been training to do, you know? I don't know.
Right. Maybe we'll get a little warm up. I don't know how hard you like to warm up before a match or a tournament. I usually need to kind of get the nervous system going a bit, so I go a little hard. But even if you just want to go through the motions, some of the fast, you know, whatever, let's do it before your match. So what got you into this in the first place?
Oh, well, so the day I got into arm wrestling, I had never in my mind thought of arm wrestling. Like I didn't like search for it. I didn't hear about it from anywhere. I didn't know it really existed. I never saw Pulling John. I never saw Over the Top. Nothing really arm wrestling related, honestly, like other than just like random things at school, you know. But I never got a thought past just that, just random an arm wrestling, you know, arm wrestle, do that. And I was like, all right. But one day, like I was at work and then my boy Dennis, he used to, I mean, he's still part of Alpha Empire, but he doesn't really arm wrestle anymore. He doesn't really find time. I'm sure he does pop up here and there, but not that I know of. But anyway, he called me over to have some drinks at the brewery that they were at, which was Brew Rebellion, where Alpha, I guess, started for me. And I just went over there, you know, have some drinks. It was my lunch at work. I worked right by where the brewery was, so you know, have some drinks on my lunch. So I went over there, and then group of guys were arm wrestling, and I was like, you know, like the typical person, like what the fuck, like arm wrestling at a brewery, you know, that's typical, I guess. But it looked more structured, you know, they looked like actual tables, not just on a bar. So I was like, there's something to this, like this might be something. And then I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I just wanted to watch people do it. And then I had enough to drink where I was like, let me try this. And then I had more to drink. And then, you know, I just started loving it. So I ended up taking the rest of the day off. I didn't even go back to work. I just stayed there and arm wrestled for like 5-6 hours. And I'm not going to lie, like I felt strong. I looked strong to the people that were there. And then the very next week I went, I was like utter trash. Like whatever strength I had that first day was completely gone. And like, I never got it back for like months. Can't even explain it. But usually people that arm wrestle the first time ever to me feel stronger than they do when I arm wrestle them again the next time.
Of
New
course,
people.
yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I just never really let it go. I just started, you know, arm wrestling with Alpha, and I actually started training it. So like when I first started, I literally, all I did for the first like whole year was nothing but pronation, supination, rising, and cupping. That's literally all I did. I didn't do shit else. And I feel that got me to where like I am, but I don't know really, because I don't really do that too much anymore. So it just might, I don't know. I really have no idea. I'm a horrible person to ask about things. Like I'm an arm wrestler for like 8 years, but I don't know much, arm wrestling. So I apologize.
A lot
Yeah,
of the best ones out there, though, they do have a hard time translating it. Even sometimes when I hear Devin talk about arm wrestling or Alan Fisher talk about arm wrestling, I'm like, wow, is this like theoretical or philosophy, or they're like you, they're just gifted with so many tools. You almost kind of see it your own way. I'm really excited about your match. It's with Chewy, right?
I thought that's what his name was, but when I seen it on Facebook, I didn't recognize the name at all. So is that
right?
Chewy?
Yeah, it's Chewy on Facebook. He just has it as SB Espindola. That's his Facebook account. Yeah. So
it's gonna be
got switched or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting match. He definitely seems to be known for his bicep, for his hook, but he definitely seems to favor the high hook because he's definitely using his hand. He likes a sense of, at least from what I've seen and from arm wrestling him myself, he actually likes a little bit of hand control as well. So I think it's going to make for an interesting match, but it's also similar to, what was the other match we were talking about before the whole David and Goliath thing? With Mike Brown's match?
Jarek.
Yeah,
Jarek and Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be similar to that because you're like, what, 6'4"?
I'm 6'2".
6'2"? Okay, all right.
Yeah, not quite there yet. Didn't make it, unfortunately.
You're 6'4" with the beanie on, Will.
Yeah,
one little poofy. Yeah, but see, the one thing though that I'm like kind of excited about is I'm arm wrestling someone that I don't know about. I saw like one match with him like in a tournament in like Long Beach or something. So I really don't know anything about the guy, which makes me feel good. Like I don't have any like negative attitude towards it because like I don't know, I feel better when I don't know the person. Like I'm more excited, like versus someone that say I get destroyed by, and then I always have a constant fear or kind of drive to push them, but I'm always going to be kind of scared because I lost to him before. But someone I have no idea, like I just feel comfortable. Like I just feel at ease in a way because I can do what I want, because I don't know the outcome, and I could just do that 100% and hope it works, or find out that it didn't and then do something else, and then I guess go from there. But I want to hook them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to do that.
He's definitely excited for your match. He's definitely excited. I've had quite a few people from up north. I mean, they all respect you, Will. They know what you are on the table, and I've had people say, "Hey, man, are you sure you want to do that?" But Chewy's the one who wanted the match. He knows what you are, and he just wants to see if he can give you a fight, and he's going to give it everything he has. But yeah, I'm excited to see that as well.
Yeah. I'm like actually more excited because he hooks, because like ET is a really good hooker, and I lost to him last because he just out hooked me. I used to love hooking. I used to only hook, and I used to be great at it. But like now, ET finally made the move, and he beat me. And then Alan, I could stop him, but I just like slow down. I have too much, pronation for certain people, So I feel like if I hook with Chewy, it could help me train for other people. I'm still a good hooker, don't get me wrong, but like I think I could learn a lot from him if I go in with them instead of trying to run away and just taking the easy way. If it is easy, I don't know. I don't know the guy, but
right.
We'll see.
Meet him in the middle of the table.
That's kind of what me and Kane were talking about the other day. I mean, there's something about going inside and we all have moves that we can use, but some about going inside and just testing it out is satisfying.
It's fun. Yeah. Definitely fun.
Isai.
My man.
Yo,
How's it going today, brother?
Isai.
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I
That's
can't
good.
wait.
That's good.
Can't wait for this thing. Feeling good. How you feeling?
Yes, sir. I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm feeling good, healthy.
All right. Yeah. I'm always watching your progress at practices, and the one thing that we have in common, I think we both came in those really skinny dudes, and
Yep.
what it took, like it seemed like just maybe a few months, and you just added like a whole other person on top of you. Like I don't even like recognize you anymore. You filled out your frame really fast. Has that mostly just been coming to practices and table time, or are you hitting the gym too?
I'm hitting the gym too, man. Yeah, consistent with the gym.
How do you like to
Yeah.
lift? Heavy and light?
I do everything. I do progressive overload, and I try to do one rep maxes here and there. So I train for strength and for hypertrophy right now. So I'm doing pretty much everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely built for this. I've told you that a million times. I think when we go elbow to elbow, my fingertips come like to the bottom of your hand, like somewhere around here. And then, there's people that have told me I have a big hand, but I put mine to yours and your fingers look like this on me. But yeah, you're making a lot of gains, and you're filling out that frame and being able to use it a lot more. So good job, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you.
So I'm excited to see your match. I don't think I know this guy. I'm just excited to see you in a freaking super match. Can you and Josh tell me a little bit about it? What's his name, Isai?
Oh, his name's Eric.
Eric what?
I think his last name's Gonzalez, right?
Oh, Eric. Oh, I know who Eric is. Okay, so he's your match, huh?
Yeah.
I was waiting, Kate. I was waiting, man.
There's a lot here.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at the list, but yeah, Eric's a cool guy, but I haven't pulled him. We were supposed to pull at the big arm fest they came down for. Did you ever practice pull with him?
Yeah. We actually had 2 super matches. We had one for the left and right.
What happened?
I beat him both arms.
Uh-oh. So he's out for blood.
So
Yeah, man. He's out for redemption. I still got those clips waiting for to make a video after this North versus South tournament. So
Oh, nice.
Yep.
What kind of arm wrestler is Eric? What's his style?
Well, what I remember is we both went outside, we slipped, and I was controlling his hand, and he was putting a lot of pressure with a press. I didn't know he had a press so early too. I still don't have a press, but he surprised me, and I'm pretty sure he got a pin on me, but they didn't count it, and I just stood quiet. But you could hear Leo in the background saying, "That was a pin, bro." Like, that was a pin.
Yeah. Yeah, count on Leo to put us in check for sure.
That's my boy.
I was just like, Leo, please.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah, Eric's one of those. He's brand new in the sport. His first tournament that he ever went to was that Riverside Lock and Loaded qualifier last year. So he's been in since then. That's when we linked up together, and he's been rocking with Nowhere to Run ever since then. He's definitely, he's making his strides and getting better and more comfortable. He just needs more ready goes, and but he's made a lot of gains since their last match. It should be exciting for sure. But yeah. I mean, Isai, I've had the pleasure of pulling him a couple times in tournaments, and he's a beast. So yeah, Eric definitely needs to be on the ball and be ready for that go. And and not separate. But he's working on all those things. So, but this is the exciting thing, it gives him a chance to have something to shoot for. And both of them guys have a little bit of a history. So that's kind of fun. And we all know no matter what happens afterwards, we're all going to be hanging out, having a good time. So that's what it's about.
Yep.
Yeah, as they say, what is it? You gain a lot more from a loss than you do a win. So Isai, you can bet that he's been spending this last few months just studying, how those matches went and training to come after you. So come in ready, bro.
I'm ready,
Right.
bro. I'm ready.
Yeah,
Right.
my boy. All right. Cool. So yeah, we've got a few other Alpha team members that have matches that are not in here. I want to maybe discuss some of those and just take a quick minute to let everybody know watching that we've already got it scheduled to go on tomorrow with the rest of our South guys. So look forward to having some of the people from the San Diego team. We've got Carl Gerke coming on.
Carl.
Yeah. I'm gonna butcher all the names or maybe miss people, but yeah, we've got San Diego people coming up. We've got the Vegas. We got Blanca and Ronnie is coming on. You mentioned Ronnie earlier. The OC team is actually having a practice, so we're going on tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. and they're actually having their practice at 6:30. And so Big Alan, how do you say his name? Hadzi, I want to say. Yeah. He's just going to run his laptop at practice, and they're going to have their whole party getting in here and there on the stream. So that'll be pretty fun. And we have the man, the myth, the legend, the other man, myth, legend, Paul, Mr. Scott Wynn will be in with us. So that's going to be really interesting, and he's going to have some great stories to tell and stuff. So everybody check that out.
When I used to be Scott's
Lorenzo.
battles.
You used to have battles with him?
Yeah, when I was lighter, 20, 30 pounds lighter. But yeah, we used to have battles back and forth.
Nice.
Long time.
Lorenzo has a big time match. Let's not forget about that.
Oh, he's not just here to look pretty?
No. I mean,
Thought he was here for the thumbnail.
he has a big time match coming up. Yeah.
Bro, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is such an honor for me. And I love Matt. When I first came into the sport, I got into the sport about late 2014, early 2015. There wasn't an Alpha Empire at that time. It was just Derek and a couple of guys when I met him. Derek, Leo, this guy named Travis, and Ricky. Ricky was one of the first person I met. Kept buying him beer, just trying to get him to tell me everything about the sport. We showed up to a tournament, and Travis Bajent was there, and this was after Game of Arms has been on AMC and stuff. So me and my wife had went, and starstruck, Travis was there. All these people, first time seeing a professional arm wrestling table, which blew my mind.
Right.
I'm such a fanboy of stuff like that. Like I was a fanboy of Over the Top. I had when I first met Alan Fisher, he signed my VHS Over the Top tape from when I was a kid. My dad was a heavy equipment mechanic growing up, so I remember this one place called Columbia Steel by the house. When we would go work there and do jobs over there, in the eating room, they had a arm wrestling table made of wood. And my dad, he was, a religious guy, but military as well. Just kept his head down, good hard worker, honest man, not flamboyant, didn't do anything. You talk shit to him, he would just take it on the chin, say that was a good joke, that kind of guy. But he loved to arm wrestle, any big guy, and he would just smile, and he was skinny and tall, and he would beat everyone. I didn't know how he did it, and just watching that growing up. And I have an older brother too. Me and my older brother would arm wrestle all the time. My brother lives in Kansas now. He comes down every now and then, and I drag him around wherever I can. He has a brain disease. My dad's actually on bed rest right now, so been taking care of the family and stuff. But I'm telling you what, man, that Matt Hughes, I'm so excited for this match. I just want to prove myself and have a good match. I couldn't ask for a better guy, to go against. And I think we're both one of those guys who've been in the sport for a long time and are both kind of quiet on social media and stuff like that. I don't really have anything to say. I'd like to say it to your face in person and, be in the moment and stuff like that. And you guys will know me.
That's what's
Yes,
up.
sir.
Yeah, I gotta say, Lorenzo, so far in my experience on the team, with myself and everyone else that comes in new, you're one of the most welcoming guys and just a wealth of information. You definitely go out of your way to coach all of us. I've learned a massive amount of things from you, especially because we have somewhat similar builds, and how to use those tools. But this last year, whatever you're doing, you were strong since the moment I came in. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Matt Hughes, probably just because I'm new. But
well, if you don't know, he's the legendary Kenny Hughes brother.
Oh, okay.
Legendary Kenny Hughes brother. And everybody knows Kenny Hughes, but Matt has been there since the beginning, man. Matt has been there right with him. Just Kenny was the one taking home everything, and he's the loud one and stuff. And so everybody kind of knew Kenny. When I came into the sport, Kenny was down at the moment. So I got to meet Matt a lot in different tournaments. We got really close and stuff, and I haven't seen him in a long time, man. So when this opportunity came up and somebody said his name, I was like, man, I just want to see my boy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And getting a chance to bang with him and everything, and I can't wait. I think it's gonna be, I just hope I have something for him. It's gonna be a good match, and hope I don't let him down, man.
I don't think you will. I mean, every time I pull you, every time I see you, you're always getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, big time.
It's just, every time, and Matt, I've known Matt for a long time too, with Kenny and all that. And Matt, he's a good puller too. He has some good wins and plays in tournaments and stuff like that. I think it'll be a good match between you two. I mean, I haven't seen Matt in a while either, with everything going on and stuff like that. So it's good to see that you be back out. And like I said, every time I grip up with you, you're always getting stronger and stronger.
Appreciate that, man.
Always improving, always doing something. Giving me hugs from behind. Always worries me a little bit. But
trying to take you down, man.
Trying to take me down. But the reach around thing ain't working for you yet.
No. No, I appreciate that, man. It's hard being in the sport for so long because it's like you're constantly driving into a brick wall and hoping that brick wall moves. And obviously I'm not in a place in the sport where I would like to be or anything like that, but bro, I'm in the hardest weight class, 198, 205s. I mean, every time I go to a tournament, there's Oleg there, there's Dallas Langston and stuff, which I almost shocked the world at one time. I'm just saying.
You almost crashed in Dallas, man. That was crazy.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah. I remember that.
And
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, he was sleeping or something. I was like, and I looked at the ref, and I was like, was that as close as I thought it was?
Yeah. And that was recently, so it really does go to show, the work you've been putting in this past year. Is your match left or right?
I believe it's left. I haven't ironed out if we're doing right or not. It's really, I would be nice not to, but if he wants to, I'm down.
Okay. So
Is
it's left.
Is your left your dominant arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole other monster for sure. All right, Josh, am I missing anything here? We've been going an hour and a half.
I think we touched on everybody's matches a little bit and a little bit of the background, and yeah, I mean everybody had great things to say. I'm glad to get to know everybody a little bit more, and yeah, I'm just pumped for this thing, man. As these hours are winding down, it feels like tomorrow, even though it's about 10 days away. So, yeah, every day is going to be stressful like that, but an exciting stress. And yeah, that's what Casey and I were talking about. Casey was like, man, I'm not going to stop being stressed until it's over.
Well, Josh, I'll tell you what, dude, if you ever need anything, you can always reach out. I don't know how to do much, but I do know how to do some stuff. So if you need anything, bro, I got you.
For sure. I appreciate you, man. And everybody else, everybody's been the same way. That's, like I said, I can't say it enough. Everybody, is thanking Casey and I and our team and stuff, and that's great. But this is really only possible because of the community. That's why this is happening. So I am more thankful. I'm thankful to all you guys and everybody else that's willing to do this, because it's just doing something we love. Like, I don't need all, like the pat on the back. That's all cool. But I like seeing everybody smile, man. Like that vibe that I see when I take my son to go places is what I want everybody else to see, so that's all this is about. And so it's, thank all you guys for sure.
Right on.
You got to smile for me, brother.
Thanks, bro.
I'll just take a quick minute, Mr. Jeffrey Ray, if you're watching. Well, yeah, I hope you come ready. I really respect that you wanted this match, but I'm really looking forward to our match, and I expect you to bring hell. We are going left and right, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Have you talked to him lately? How's he feeling?
Yeah, I talked to him. He actually just had a new baby 2 days ago. So yeah, he's been off the phone for a couple of days, but
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's chilling. He's excited about it. Trying to cut his last few pounds and everything so he can be under that 165 mark for you. Yeah. Right. He's excited. I like to get into his head, and everybody for that matter. So they always want me to just tell him good things, but I'm like, no, bro, Kane's gonna crush you.
Yeah, get them, keep them on their toes, bro. Keep them on their toes.
Right? Because so, but he's gonna come ready. He's gonna come and give you everything he's got, and he's definitely not sleeping on you.
Very cool. Very cool.
You should send them a picture of you on those scales, Kane, with a burger.
Yeah. With the 4x4.
I sleep at 165, buddy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, tell him not to work too hard on his cutting. I was actually doubling down on my pasta, trying to get up to him a little bit. I'm trying, but I do that shit anyways, and I still freaking go to sleep at 165. It's tough. Sometimes in the morning I'll get that 170 or something like that, but every time by nighttime it's like 165, 160.
Yeah, I'm there with
Leo's go-to gainer is heavy whipping cream and cinnamon toast crunch. That's Leo's go-to gainer.
Ooh,
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
tasty.
I'd go to the store and get that shit right now if I wasn't snowed in. That sounds delicious.
You're still snowed in? Jeez.
Well, yeah, we just finally got
right
out.
now, bro.
Yeah, we just got hit with another storm. It's snowing right now. Actually, this is beautiful. Let me show you this right now.
This is gonna be awesome.
I wish I could get snowed in. Just
well,
once.
never mind. That was just rain or wind. It blew a bunch of shit off of the roof.
That's crazy.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's a little dark out there. No, I thought it was snowing because a big gust of wind just threw a bunch of shit off the roof. But a little shout out also to Justin Webb. He's going to be having
Webb.
He's going to be having a match. Emil Mansour.
Cha-cha.
Yeah, he's a beast, and his brother's a beast, and we need to get both of his brothers into this because those guys,
the whole family, man, all of them are strong, man.
Yeah, very talented. And who am I missing? Who all the other alpha that doesn't have a match? I've got it right here. Well, no, that's it. Yeah, it's just those two guys that we haven't talked about. So I want to wish both of them good luck. We'll be seeing you there. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna hit the after party. It's gonna be a good time. And thank you so much, Josh. And thank you guys for all being on here. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 6:30.
I'll be
All right.
watching my
Good
class.
seeing you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. You have a lovely evening.
Thank you guys.
Peace.
Have a good night.
You guys have
Have
a
a
good
good night, everyone.
Have a good
All
night.
right.
Later.
Thank
Alpha
you guys
Empire,
again.
out.
I'm trying to leave. My bad, bro.